So tarot is a deck of some beautiful cards. It is full of imagery, colors, expression, and it's like a talking book. It's like something that you can talk to, someone that you can relate with, something that you can experience. And it is very easy to understand. It includes all life experiences that a person can imagine, that will experience. So there is trauma, there is happiness, there is weddings, there is unions, any life experience that a human being can experience, expect to live, is all in the cards. And it is amazing how each card, individually or sometimes in groups, can talk huge stories.
Right.
So this is what tarot is all about. It's a lovely guiding tool that you can use to connect with, speak to, and some a tool that you can use for your intuition. Connect.
Fantastic. And you know what, Sonal, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start with the questions that people have asked because there is a range of questions, all right, not necessarily interconnected with each other at all. Let me just ask you, since these questions have come in. Somebody is written in asking, can I ask about marriage in this session? AR, I can't see your full name. Maybe later when we have a few individual demos happening, if you're still around and if you get selected, you can. However, I am going to ask this question. Sonal, does tarot help with questions around marriage and relationships?
Absolutely, because you can find out using tarot when is your marriage, likely to happen. Is your partner someone that you should get married to? What is going to happen? What are the challenges you're going to face as a couple? And about your children, how many children you're going to have, how are they going to be? And so tarot can cover a range of topics, and of course marriage is one of them.
Right. So yes, Air, you had asked, means can tarot help us with such kind of questions? Yes, of course, as Sonal just said. In fact, because marriage has come up right in the beginning, Sonal, if I recall correctly, there was a couple that came to you that was almost on the verge of a divorce.
That's correct.
So you want to tell us?
We
Yeah.
had a client. Sure. So we had a client. The lady came to me with with a very difficult emotional baggage, let's say, in her heart. And I was able to use tarot to sit with her, understand what exactly where she's coming from. What is it that she can do to help her own self first? Because what happens usually is when you're in a difficult relationship with you first need to take a little bit care of yourself so that you're not going all over the place, and you're not, you're being careful about the words that you speak to your partner, because most of the time when you are not in control of yourself, that's when all the problems starts, and then we start reacting and responding in ways that are not pleasant. So if there is a 25% problem, sometimes our words can make it 100%,
Right.
it kind of seals the deal. So what we did was we did a few sessions, we did a few healing sessions, and then I said, now I'm ready to meet your husband, and you're ready for that as well, like a discussion. So she then got her husband. I did individually first his tarot reading, understood where he's coming from. And then I told her, now you both need to come back another day. So she was not part of the individual session for her husband. And then they both came back another day and I did a joint tarot reading for them. And believe me, she came back to me. I'm getting goosebumps. She came back to me telling me that, Sonal, you literally saved our marriage. So it was a tarot session in complete depth. But like we said, if you have those skills, then you can also do a little bit of counseling guidance. So the tarot helped me to understand their requirements. I was able to interpret them, present it to them in a way that was understandable to both. It was an amazing session, and sometimes we also kind of think, that, oh wow, what's happening, the how the equation completely changed from I'm planning to file my divorce to thank you, and our issues are not as big as they looked. They seemed to us. At the end of everything, they did not take a divorce. They're happily living together even today.
Fantastic. Pushpanjali is asked, can I use any deck? I have Archangel's Oracle deck and Wisdom of Oracle's card. Sure, there is a specific deck that's going to be used, right?
That is correct. We are going to use the Rider-Waite decks because the name of the decks that she has taken are both oracle cards,
Oracle.
and oracle
Correct.
cards and tarot cards are quite different.
Absolutely. And even in your teachings, you use the Rider-Waite deck, correct?
Rider-Waite deck, yes.
Right. Okay. And Gitanjali is written in for you, saying, giving you a warm welcome and saying that you have a very sweet voice. And
Thank you.
Divya, your question has been answered. It's the Rider-Waite deck. Divya has also asked, how many years, like, what's the prediction timeline? Like, how many years can it predict?
Oh,
Till how many years can it predict?
I have predicted from, let's do a few weeks to a few months. Let's predict this year. Let's predict the next 3 years to let's predict the next 10 years. So there is no timeline that you are going to bind yourself with. You need to frame your questions accordingly and literally ask almost any timeline. Of course,
Right.
the only thing you need to understand is that with time, your goals, the equations with the elements that you're asking about, your actions, everything will determine the final consequence.
Right. And Sonal, correct me if I'm right here. It's a time range that's being looked at. It's not like you're going to say, okay, 30th October 2048, this is going to happen. It's a time range, correct?
That is absolutely right. We are looking at a time range, like a month, a year, 2025. So we can, like we are going to do a reading for the group. Let's see how the rest of the 2024 is going to come out to be. It's the same way.
Lovely. In fact, I'm very tempted to just immediately go into the reading for the group and have you show everybody these lovely cards. But I do have one, two very quick questions to ask you. As you said, tarot can be used across, any and every field of life, so to speak. Can you just give us one or two examples, and then we'll just go into this, because I just know people are waiting to see your deck and just start interacting with you immediately.
Yes, definitely. So let's take an example of
You know, while that's happening, do you want to, because especially right now, a lot of admissions have happened, a lot of a lot of students are looking for new places and things like that, and I know somebody's come to you about universities as well.
That's correct. So I had a student who came to me, and not just one, I've had many students, but the case study that we are going to take is a student who wanted to do architecture and specifically wanted to travel to UK. But she was not sure because she had, thoughts about some other countries as well. So what we did was we, first uh, did a tarot on each country that she wanted to go to and how the setup would be. And after that, we decided that okay, if UK is the country that you're going to, which university can you come to, go to, which is the best for you, which is for your highest good. And out of the five universities, she was able to find her admission in the same one, by the way.
Nice, nice. And all this is happening just with the tarot deck, Sonal.
Just with the tarot deck, because the knack of reading tarot is how you apply and frame your questions. That is the knack. So the whole reason why, of course there are online courses, there's a lot of stuff, there are ready books you can just buy off the shelf and you can deck and you can read. So you will get all the knowledge, but some smart person once told me that application of knowledge is very important, and it is more important than the knowledge itself. So thank you so much. With lots of gratitude, I'd like to thank that person who shared this with me. And I think that this is exactly why people love to learn tarot from a teacher, from a master with whom they can prefer to discuss and take guidance from.
Right. And Kiran's asked, why do different tarot readers read different answers?
This is an excellent question. I love this. See, what happens is that it's all about the perspective, first of all. And the secondly, it is about your intuition. Each tarot reader, each person connects to the tarot in a different way. And although the broad meaning of the card is there and same across, sometimes you will get a download when you are connected to the cards intuitively of a certain thing to happen. And that's where the interpretation. So how good the tarot reading is not about the card. It's about the reader. It's how good the tarot reader is, how well can he or she connect to the tarot card and
Right.
understand your question. So there is a balance. One is understanding the question of the client, and the other part is interpreting that card and giving an appropriate answer, and hence the answers are different.
Right. And the enlightened devotee, that's how I can see your name, has asked, why do you get different answers for the same question? I I want to ask you, the enlightened Bodhi, are you saying that you ask the same question to different people back to back? Is that why you're asking this question? No. Would you like to give us a little more clarity on exactly why you're asking that? And Gitanjali's asked, does our reading differ based on our energy as well? Like I've come to you,
Abs-
but depends on my energy as well.
See, if it's a good tarot reader, that tarot reader should know how to stay unbiased.
Right.
Most of the time, if the tarot reader is, not in the right frame of mind, then it is difficult for that person to stay unbiased. And that's why when we do tarot, this is where all the tarot ethics and tarot training and what's right, what's not good, the do's, the don'ts come in, where the tarot reader himself or herself has to be disciplined in certain ways so that you are unbiased and the things that you give to the client are coming straight from the cards themselves, not your own story.
Right. So if I rephrase Gitanjali's question a little bit, Sonal, is that like a lot of practitioners allow you to pick your cards, right? A lot of practitioners allow that, and whatever your training would be, that no, you do the dealing. So would this come into play if you are picking your cards? Because based on whatever you're feeling, maybe you'll pull cards that are going to connect to that and might not be the answers you're looking for. Is that possible? Could that
Uh,
happen?
Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. So that's why you need to be grounded. And so if I'm picking the cards, I need to be grounded and ensure that my energy is not mixing up with the cards of the energy, the energy
Right,
of the cards. And
right.
most of the time, there are times when clients pick cards, there are times, and it's perfectly fine. The reading should not be affected.
Okay. So Priyanka has asked, and she's the enlightened Bodhi. And if that's you, Priyanka, if that's where I could, yeah, okay, smile has come. It is her. She's asked, if we ask, for example, when will I get a job, and read the same question to the same person 5 times, different answers pop out. So she's asked, why does that happen?
Tarot has one of the do's and the don'ts of tarot is that whatever is the best card in your highest good is what's going to come when you do your first reading. So, one of the do's and the don'ts is that, please do not ask the same question repeatedly to the tarot, because you are going to end up getting different cards and you are going to end up getting confused. When you initially ask the question, the best answer has already come to you.
Right, right. And it's not necessarily the answer you're looking for, which is why you're asking it again.
Yes, that's correct. So sometimes what we do is we do clarifications. So if this is not the answer that I'm looking for has come, instead of asking the same question, we do clarification. What is it that I can do so that my outcome is as per my will?
Right, right. In fact, here, Sonal, if I could bring this example up, there were, this is again, because it is a job related one. Who were those two clients of yours? One that both came asking for a change of job, but one you would advise to stick to change, but the other one you said don't change.
That is correct.
You want to
That's
give
an
us a few
excellent.
details on that?
Yes, so I had two different clients and completely different time zones, and one was in Singapore and one was in Dubai, completely different. So one client came to me saying that, I have some opportunities and I'm looking for a change of job. The package is very lucrative. And I stopped that person from changing the job. I said, please do not change the job. The company is not doing well. And there is a possibility that whatever you have, you'll have, like, you have that saying, one in the hand and two in the bush.
Right.
So you don't want to lose the one in the hand for the two in the bush, which might just fly away. And at that time, he seemed very disappointed. But then I got a call after 3 months. He told me that, ma'am, I'm so glad I came to you for this reading and you stopped me from changing the job because the company that I was going to join has closed down. The
Imagine.
same thing happened with another client who was in Singapore who had some opportunities. And I said, yes, please go ahead and change your job comfortably. That person is on a very senior position now.
Fantastic. So see, so exactly that, right, Sonal? For you, Priyanka, and for everybody else who might have similar questions like this, with the tarot, whatever shows up for you. Just because it's not the answer you're looking for doesn't mean it's incorrect, right? And
Correct.
to also to just reiterate what you said earlier, different people connect to tarot differently. So with the same question, you might have different answers from different practitioners, but we come back to the point again. Don't go to five practitioners with the same question within, like, wait, see what happens, right? So, big marker for that, correct?
Yes, we generally do tarot readings every 3 months because the energy cycle, it takes time to change. If I do a tarot reading now and then I do same question in the evening and then I do it tomorrow and then I do it tomorrow, the universe is just going to get so annoyed that it's going to throw anything at you. They think, I mean,
Right,
what are you doing? Is this some kind of a game or what? So you're going to have those kind of mixed answers and more complications popping up and in your own mind that will, kind of create like what's happening. But
right,
if you do it after a specific amount of time, so my clients, even if somebody tells me after a week I want to ask, I let them ask a question or so, something specifically. But if they want to do the same reading, I'll say, no, I'm going to do your reading after 3 months or 2 months. Give it time, you know,
right,
to manifest. Give it time to roll out. You've just understood what you need to do. Give yourself some time to actually perform those actions and
right,
then consciously come back and then discuss the same with me. Come to me closer to time because now I'm going to take my admissions. So come to me now. Don't come to me 6 months in advance and say I wanted to take admissions. And of course, we can get a general idea, but the closer to the event the reading is, the more accurate it is because
you
things
know
change. Things keep changing. This is energy, and tarot
right.
is also an energy.